Good management of bad experiences leads to great growth in leadership. To be a great leader, we have to be able to get through difficult times at work. We must be able to teach our teammates on how to get through difficult times also. In this video, I will discuss the 5 principles that you can focus on to help get you through difficult times at work. Hello, my name is Christopher Houston, and today I want to talk to you about the 5 principles that you can use to help you get through difficult times at work. Albert Einstein was quoted saying, "Adversity introduces a man to himself." When leading a team, you have to understand a few truths about bad experiences. The first truth is everyone has them. Bad experiences are not unique to anyone. It's funny when I hear someone say, "It's not fair." It just makes me laugh. Life is not fair. You have to take the good with the bad and move forward. The first principle we'll get into that will help you get through difficult times is choose a positive life stance. If you take a positive life stance, you will find positive lessons in every experience. There's a company called Life is Good, and they developed a positivity study. The survey asked about 3,000 individuals from across the United States how optimistic they were. A whopping 85% considered themselves, and this is a self-test, they consider themselves to be positive thinkers. So chances are, if you are watching this video, you are probably a positive thinker. The study showed that 82% of adults with bachelor's degree or higher identified as optimistic. People that exercise are 40% more likely to be optimistic than people that don't exercise. Those that meditate are 10% more likely to be optimistic. Most optimistic people manage to get away from screens for at least part of every day. And finally, 90% of the self-identified optimists that were surveyed named spending time with friends and family as a top hobby. So you take all that in, and to get through difficult times at work, be a continual learner. Exercise, meditate, take time away from computer screens and smartphone screens. And finally, interact with your family and friends. Now, when you're taking time away from those computer screens and those smartphone screens, make sure you do that after you watch this video. I heard a quote recently, "Life moves at the speed of your relationships, life moves at the speed of your connections, and life moves at the speed of your circles." A positive life stance will get you through difficult times at work. Remember that. The second principle is embrace and develop your creativity. There's a quote by Neil Walsh, "Life begins at the end of your comfort zone." There's been many times where I had to get outside of my comfort zone. Just to name a few, I joined the military at 18 years old, coming from Birmingham, Alabama. One of my first duty stations was Fairbanks, Alaska. An individual coming from the South going to Fairbanks, Alaska. I got out of my comfort zone. Next, I joined Toastmasters. When I joined Toastmasters, it was at a time where I was afraid to get up and speak in front of individuals. I would have been afraid to do this video. After being involved in Toastmasters, I got above and beyond my comfort zone. Leaving the IT field for a management position. At the time, I had been an IT specialist for about 20 years. I left that field to accept a management position, and it was tough. I definitely had to get out of my comfort zone because I was leaving behind something that I knew for over 25 years, moving to Hawaii. About 2.5 years ago, I was happy in Las Vegas, but I applied for a position as a promotion. I subsequently got the promotion out here to Hawaii, and trust me, moving from Las Vegas after living there for 15 years and coming to Hawaii, that definitely got me out of my comfort zone. All of these things took me out of my comfort zone. When we have difficult times at work, we must think about ways to expand our knowledge. When we have difficulties at work, it may be time for a change. When we have difficulties at work, we may want to think about getting out of our comfort zone. When presented with a bad experience, creativity will show you the way through it. Principle 3, embrace the value of bad experiences. John Maxwell was quoted saying, "In this life, there are winners and there are learners. Every time you don't win, it's an opportunity to learn." Now, I mentioned earlier I went in the military at 18 years old, and it was tough. my military career wasn't one of those stellar military careers. However, I did learn a lot. In the military, you are constantly getting leadership training, and I'm grateful for that. However, in the military, there's a built-in crutch when you're a leader. That crutch, to some leaders, is they use their rank a little too much. They will use their rank as the determining factor for every order that's given. Now, for example, these leaders end most of their sentences with, "because I said so," or "because I outrank you." And that's not a good way to do it. Once I retired, I took everything that I learned and applied to my life. The good things I repeated. The bad things I avoided repeating. So if you have bad experiences, ask yourself, what can I learn from this experience, and how can I use this experience to benefit me moving forward? Principle 4, make good changes after learning from bad judgments. This is especially true if the bad experience is a result of our bad judgment. We have to learn from them. A young man once asked me, "Chris, how do you get to be so wise?" I said, "That's easy." I said, "It's because I have good judgment." The young man then asked me, "How did you learn how to make good judgments all the time?" I said, "Well, that comes from experience." And then he finally said, "How did you get so experienced? What can I do?" I said, "Bad judgments." Some things take time, and sometimes you make those bad judgments and you have to learn from them. So remember, just because you have a lapse in judgment doesn't mean it's the end of the world. Nobody is perfect. The key is, don't continue to make the same bad judgments over and over again. Lastly is principle 5. Take responsibility for your life. Are you a victim or a victor? It is one short step from why me to woe is me. Be responsible for every decision you make in life. Don't make excuses. There's a saying, excuses sound best to the people making them up. I like the book Extreme Ownership by Jocko Willink. One of his favorite sayings is, "Discipline is freedom." In my eyes, you have to first be responsible, then decide to be disciplined. Remember, take responsibility for your life. In today's video, we've answered the question, how to get through difficult times at work. Principle 1, choose a positive life stance. Principle 2, embrace and develop your creativity. Principle 3, embrace the value of bad experiences. Remember, you can make a bad judgment, just don't do it over and over again. Principle 4, make good changes after learning from bad experiences. And most importantly, principle 5, take the responsibility for your life. I appreciate you watching this video. If you enjoyed the content, please hit the like button. And if you have not subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. My name is Christopher Houston. Thank you very much. Good night and God bless.